Thank you, John Stanton, for saving the day. Greetings, Wapplers from around the world. This is our September 2025 Wappler Meetup. We have a special guest today. George is going to give us a walkthrough of Wappler version 7, including all the all-important AI features that are included. And without further ado, I'd like to turn this over to George. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Yes,
Hi,
thank you for the
George.
introduction, Mark. Hi, I see all the known faces around here. Bob and John and Ben, of course. So it was a good announcement. Thank you, Ben. So yeah, Wappler 7, it's been quite a ride to get it all well done. And well, we are proud with the features that we have included. It's been like almost a year hard work, and in the summer it was finally done. So we pick up all the latest features and trends, and yeah, you can see that a lot of this changed in Wappler for the Wappler 7 update. Thank you to everybody who was participating in the beta, as it helps us really a lot to make Wappler a very stable and yeah, very useful product. So it was a pleasure to work with all the participants. Yeah, so we did include quite a lot of features. As you have noticed, the interface was changed a lot. We made it more accessible, more useful to you. A lot of it's been done by the features request that we had. Many people wanted to work on multiple screens at the same time, multiple projects, dock and dock windows, quickly search, all those things were nicely integrated now in Wappler 7. So more freedom to you and more ease to work. And of course, the biggest feature is the AI integration that we have. It's been a challenging integration because AI is so big these days, and is also changing every day. You have so many AI providers, OpenAI, Anthropic with the Claude, and so many others. And every AI provider supports different models, which are good or bad. And we had to make quite a lot of choices to deliver the best AI performance within Wappler. And yeah, I want to think that we did a good job. And of course, yeah, AI is not a wonder thing to have. It will not solve all your problems. It's always good to be on top and to understand what the AI is doing for you. So we try to implement the AI in Wappler as controlled as possible because, yeah, all those crazy ChatGPT and other AI providers, they tend to hallucinate quite a lot and yeah, come up with things that not always make sense. But still, yeah, in Wappler, you have full control of what the AI is doing for you, and yeah, the level of integration and the things that you allow it to do or not. If you can see on my screen that I'm sharing, we have actually two levels of AI integration. First one is per page. So every page that you have open within Wappler, you can enable the AI assistant. It's an icon next to the app structure that you normally see. You can just toggle to the AI assistant and well, have a conversation with the AI assistant about the current page. So the scope of integration is pretty important. The page AI assistant works on your current page, but of course that is how we get it going. But initially, of course, you have to enable some of the options to have the AI working at all. We support a couple of AI integrations. The most common one will be with the GitHub Copilot. It's been the best integration actually, and also the most well, cheaper one, even if they increases the prices a little bit lately, still the best option to go. And it's gives you the best models and the best integration. But of course, you can try with a lot of other providers that we support. As I said, GitHub Copilot is the most common one, as it supports multiple models that you can choose later on. But we also support Overhaul, which is kind of a wrapper of all possible models for the best price, but still you'll be paying per token, or a little bit like per word, so to speak. So the more heavier the conversations, the more you'll be paying, while with the GitHub Copilot, you'll be paying more per request. So it's the size is not that limiting there. So you have OpenRouter, DeepSeek, Anthropic, OpenAI, Google Gemini, all the common providers. And you can even, well, if you're brave enough, you can run your own AI locally with Olama, but you do have to have like a very beefed up computer with kind of big GPU to make that happen. Then you can experiment with the Olama. But for the easy of this demo, I'll just stick to Copilot. So you have to sign up with GitHub first to enable it, and choose the chat provider for Copilot. When you're signing it with GitHub, it will redirect you to GitHub. You have to paste the code there, and Wappler will get authorized. And then you can use the GitHub Copilot AI. Once you have enabled it, then on all the AI panels, you'll be able to choose the AI provider and a modus that of the AI. So as providers, well, GitHub support those providers currently. They are adding more as they come. And each provider has its advantages, or not so much advantages. The best results are usually delivered with Cloud Sonnet 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter. Well, normally the bigger, the newer should be better, but it's debatable. But GitHub is recently changed that you be paying like per request, and well, you have like a 300 requests with your standard Pro subscription, with only $10 per month, so it's not that much, and you can pay additionally a few cents. So it's what you pay, but it's still pretty good. And if you even choose GPT 4.1, it's a free model for requests, so you can use it unlimited, and it delivers still pretty good results. But for my demo, I've chosen Cloud Sonnet 4. So as I said, this is the local page AI assistant. So everything I'm doing here is a conversation between me and the AI assistant about usually the current page. So I've already run some queries, so I don't lose those those questions can sometimes take some time, so I've prepared the questions. I've already executed them this morning, and I'll just show you the results. So what I asked for this, it used to be initially an empty page with an empty project that I just created, and I wanted to create an extensive to-do app as a single page application, with local data store and filtering. And well, this was my question. You can see the replies of the AI assistant as it goes on. He summarized what he will be doing, and then he executed various commands to get things done. This is the so-called AI agent mode. So it's not only a conversation. He's performing actually some actions as an agent. So the first action that he's doing is he's reading what's on my page. And well, initially it was an empty page. You can actually, if you're curious about the actions, you can expand those actions executed by the AI agent, and you can see what Wappler returned to the AI agent. So as you can see, the page was really blank initially. It just had the Wappler content page on top and nothing else. He saw that that's a content page and that I have a related main page, and he requested the main page contents as well. So he's aware what's going on a little bit, what's already included, and that is what Wappler returned to him. Then he wanted to do some styling, so he also was curious about our style sheet, which was empty. And then it went on, and it took a while, not too much, maybe like a half minute or something. And then it came back with a solution for my page. And then you can see that he was writing the code and actually generated quite a lot of code, as you can see on this page, with a full to-do application that was fully built by App Connect, and it looked actually pretty good as well. So he already knows a lot about Wappler's used framework, App Connect and Server Connect, because we provide the AI with a lot of instructions about it, learn it about it. So all the code that is being generated, it's really fully generated by specifically for App Connect and Server Connect framework. So as you can see, it's quite a lot of code, and with a lot of expressions as well, and well, some pretty heavy expressions as well. But yeah, as you can see in the structure, there was a data store actually, and a variable, and some other App Connect component that he's using, and it generated all this. And well, as every AI these days, you really have to verify that what it generates, it's working, and you really have to try to keep the tasks as small as possible, because if the AI goes on its way, it can a little bit deviate from the real task and try to do some things that you might not want to at all. But initially, it did a good job. It summarized what is done, like a to-do master app features with live statistic, progress bar, and filtering, which is pretty good. But of course, I tried the application, and it worked mostly like on any AI's day, but not completely 100%. There were, of course, some errors. And this is what we also do all the time. We try to train it and make it and enrich its knowledge to avoid the mistake it's make. And it was a small error that it produces because we have learned all the app connect syntax to the AI, but still, because its base training is mostly on the most common JavaScript framework like React and other web frameworks, it makes mistakes as it thinks that, we are kind of related to that. But in our instructions, in our learning, we specifically said, don't use JavaScript on any expressions. But as you can imagine, it was trained differently in its core, and it made a mistake to use JavaScript sometimes in expressions which App Connect does not understand. So it was a small thing, and I just had to remind them that, because even if we have supplied all the instructions, the AI does has a limited memory, so he tends to forget things as well. So not only make mistakes, but also forgetting some of the instructions. So sometimes we have to remind them. And I actually pretty directly that it was using JavaScript on some of the expressions, and I'm just reminding you shouldn't use JavaScript in App Connect event expression, so don't use it. And of course, as every AI chat you can see, is always confirming, you're absolutely right, I made a critical error. So he knows about that, but still, it's AI, and it thinks differently. So, he went on correcting, and after some failed edits, because again, he has to pass Wappler the changes that he wants to do, but because of difference in training, sometimes he passes in the wrong way. And but Wappler controls that very well and says, well, you're talking to me differently. You have to specify the exact changes because we are changing an existing page. You have to give us some good references, which line numbers you want to change, etc. So we don't accept that if it's a wrong location. We don't want to corrupt the user code. So we have a pretty strict control on that, and we reject any edits that are invalid. So we tell back to the AI, well, it's good that you have some changes, but they are not valid for Wappler. And he's trying to correct those changes and try a couple of times more. And then eventually it fixes its conversation with us, it gives us the right code and says, well, here is I have changed it. And what he's changed it, of course, the code that he was using with for each doesn't work with App Connect, but it was very easy to fix by just not using it, because of the data store function was already supporting BYOK changes. And and he seems to approve a couple of other things as well. And that's the final code which it was generated. Normally, you can inspect all the changes that he makes. You can see them directly in line into the pages, but I already accept them, so they are not visible. But otherwise, you can see the changes, and there is a tooltip, so you can cycle from change to change, and reject them or accept them all. So you're in full control, and you really have to inspect the code that the AI generates, because, as I said, it's usually good, but from time to time it tends to mix up things and makes errors. So it's an assistant. It's like a junior assistant, so to speak. It can be very handy, but you really have to be on top of the work to see what's going on. And yeah, you can see that it generates pretty complex expressions as well about dynamic sorting and directions and the data view properties. And if we run this example in the browser, yeah, you can see that I have had some tasks and add more tasks, maybe in other. So you can see the task below nicely, and yeah, I can check them out. It's all AI generated, so I didn't have to do anything about it except point them to one of the errors that it was actually by when doing bulk actions like this, and yeah, you can see that the bulk actions are now nicely working, and yeah, all the filters are also working nicely. So it did generate pretty good working application actually, and it counts all well. So yeah, it's nice work. But that is because we tend to keep it small and yeah, so we can check everything. And I was able to spot the error directly and let it correct it. So it's useful in that way. But yeah, that's the AI assistant on a page. Oh, and of course we have two modes. I was running now in act mode. That means that it will perform the work directly. But if you just want to have a conversation with the AI about the page or how things should be done without having it perform actions, you should switch to ask modes. Then it will just give you advice and analyze your page or do some things without performing the operation. So that's the difference between act and ask mode. In act mode, it really just goes directly and yeah, executes your question. So let me switch to.
Excuse me, George. In connection with this, whenever I use AI, the index tab, index.ejs tab, then has an orange star connected to it. What is the meaning of that?
Yeah, that's the meaning. Yeah, you can see it now here because I restarted my Wappler, so I applied all the changes already. But if there is a pending change that AI generates some code and there is a diffing available, so you can see between the old and the new code. So the AI changed your page, then you see a small icon here. I think it was a yellow, like a star icon. That AI changes are being done to this page. It's a different from the unsaved icon, because like if you do some changes on your page and haven't saved it, you see a blue circle. Like this. That's the icon for unsaved items. But because and normally AI will change some of the page and have those changes directly saved. So your page will be saved, but you want to see that AI has made some changes there. That's why we have two different icons about unsaved changes and changes by the AI. And once you have kept those changes, so you haven't reject them, then they are accepted, and then the icon should disappear. So this is what the icon presents. Just page has been processed by AI, and there were some changes made. So that's why. And so this is the page AI assistant. Furthermore, we have AI manager. Let me switch to one big project that I also just generated this morning. And the AI manager is located on the left side, and it can host the questions about tasks about your whole project. So it differentiates from the AI assistant on the page, which is more page related. The AI manager actually run a complete task for your whole project. So this task can span multiple files, multiple pages, server connect actions, well, all the different files in the site. That is not to say that the page AI assistant usually works on the page, but it does has the power to read some other page-related files like the styles and stuff. So the page manager of the page assistant also has power to do a little bit more than that, but it's usually focused around the current open page. While the AI manager actually is like a big boss who runs all the things and give his employees, and his employees are the AI assistant. He gives them orders so the work can be completed. And in this project, I had given pretty large assignment to create a luxury real estate site with a database and a front end to display all the properties nicely with filters, and a back end to edit by authorized users. And well, it's a pretty large assignment, which usually you shouldn't do that large, and be pretty much more specific about your assignment as you discover later. But still, I thought, well, why not? Let him run for an hour and see what comes up, because it really took quite a long time. But yeah, the AI manager kicked in, and as we specified in the instructions, when you're doing such a big project, you always have to start with the database structure. And the good thing about the AI manager is that it can actually talk directly with our integrated database manager, and see what's in the database manager, what tables do you have. But in this project, I didn't have anything initially, so he had to create everything by hand. And this is what he also did. Let me see. So he started by creating a users table, and it generates the code that it's that's being used by Connect to supply the database schema. This is what you can see in the database manager as changes. When you edit your database within Wappler with the database manager, you do it also visually, but eventually such changes files are generated for you. And now the AI manager did the same for us. He generated one big file about creating the needed database structure, actually create two files, which was actually pretty good. It went directly right, and it is actually more advanced in some way than Wappler itself. For example, we don't yet support indexes on creations on table, and you have to do it separately. But he even generated the indexes for the most important columns, so that the database is running as fast as it can. And yeah, those are things that we'll also be adding to the database manager so you can view them, but it already generates it pretty nicely. So it generated the creation of the user table. Then it executed this migration, the changes for the users to create. So you can see that it ran all well. So the database schema was added. Then he wanted to create more tables, so created a properties table, which was here. Let me see. I can actually have it. Yeah, here you can see actually the communication between the main AI manager and the AI assistant per page. Every editor that we see here has its own AI assistant building. So even the database creator, you can talk about this creation script inside. And this is what the manager does for you. So when he started creating the users table, for example, he actually didn't create it fully himself, but he's opened an editor and give this editor the assignment to create the table according the specification that he already think it will be necessary. So actually, this question here wasn't typed by me, but it was given by the AI manager, who is coordinating the things on a high level and gives orders to the page editors. So he gave an order to create this table, and then the page editor the page AI assistant went on its own and created this code and explained actually what it did. And well, we returned that back to the main manager. So it was checked as work done. So you can see that's like a two-way communication. The manager is giving assignments to the page AI assistants. They do the work on the page and report back to the manager. So the manager say, well, it's fine that you created it. I will run it now. So it gets added to the database. And then, well, he wanted to create another one for the different table, for the properties. This is the different one that's created. He got this assignment, create about a properties table. And it was created. The AI assistant on the page summarized what has been done and reported back. So it's like, a good communication going on. He also generates some sample data, and this completed actually the first step of the database structure. And I could actually directly see that the structure was created and those two changes as migration files were applied. So it was, you can see on the structure, everything was created very nicely and applied to my database. After that, it went on creating some server action files. Let me see if I can open some of them for you. Yeah, there were quite a lot. Yeah. So it created the server files for the whole security registration, and you can see again sometimes it goes wrong. It didn't applies it well, but because Wappler reports that it's been error, then he retries with a better approach. and it goes on and on. So, but it's a little bit too much because you have really not way of controlling if every step is done properly. It looks all good, but it's much better if you let him perform much smaller steps, and then you control every step to see if it's done correctly, so you can provide him a feedback. Then the AI manager will do really much better job. But I thought, well, what the heck, let's have him run and see what will eventually happen. And well, you can see on the top of statistics, it run quite a while. You can see that the tokens that were spent, like 16 million tokens eventually, because it was going on and on. But as a co-pilot, it's good that we're not paying per token. Otherwise, it's a couple of bucks per million tokens. So yeah, it might be a little bit more, but still a lot of requests have been done because it's a lot of communication going on. And with Copilot, you're paying per request, but it's like a couple of cents per request. So, and you have 300 like for almost nothing. So it's not that bad. And so he went on and on. It was generated all the server connect files with restricts, and let me show you some of them. And yeah, pretty good ones with security restrict database queries. And once the server connect files were all done for all the backend, it went for the front end development, and yeah, I adjusted the main layout page to include the whole layout for the property. It comes up with some design that might be okay or might be not. I like the to-do design better, but yeah, must be elite property. So yeah, that's the thing about design and AI. It comes up with something, but yeah, you have to really be able to supply more instructions to to confirm to some design. So it's a challenging to get him produce the good thing, but it goes, and yeah, it actually produces the pages with all the filters and stuff, and you can see every page was given an assignment of what should be done, and it went on its own, and yeah, it produced quite a lot, and yeah, well structured with the property lists, etc. So it looks pretty good actually. The whole front end generation, even added some premium features. But then yeah, as it's common, some pages were the styling was not fine. He made an error by including inline styling on top of the page without even putting in his styles. So yeah, once the error was discovered, and he was done, you can give him additional instructions. I said, well, on some of the pages that you generated, you just put all the styling on top of it, and you should really use a style tag or put it in the center of the style CSS. And of course, the AI was agreed completely, and I was absolutely right. He was the one to blame, and he went on and rewrite those pages who were wrong. So yeah, as long as you're on top of things and you point it to him, yeah, you're in control and can let it change things. And so this is what we went, and he fixed up some stuff, and then I was looking at the data that he produces from my database. He entered some sample data, but yeah, and it looked well initially as well. But yeah, I rather had some different sample data, so I had to tell him about that and to use some images from Unsplash, so it always look good and stuff like this. So yeah, it was going good, and he did that for me. But yeah, again, he made some errors by using database names that weren't really in a database initially. So even if we supplied the Wappler instruction and tell him specifically this is the database, those are the fields, and it's still he sometimes try to hallucinate and think of a different name of the database field, which doesn't work, of course, and then you have to correct them. And he said, "Oh, you're right. I'll check them out," and he reads the database structure again and makes the right correction. So yeah, after a few changes, I also noticed that the security wasn't performed well as it should be normally on a Wappler page with Server Connect and Node.js. So I told him that you should set up the security, else it's normal in the routing. And he put the routing actually and made it pretty extensive. If you look at the routing file, it was very nicely done. And he created the security restrict pages, so he knows about the security provider that we have in Server Connect, how it should be used. But still, from time to time, makes errors. So that's why it's important that you are always on top and try to give him small assignments, so it doesn't goes on for hours and burns you to all your AI subscriptions and your money, and then you have to revert half of the work. So you really should try to make the assignments small, and every time let him confirm that this is what you want, and then you should tell him, that's fine. If I test it, and it's fine. So this is about how it all works. Any questions about this one? Let me see.
Yes, George,
Yes.
is a question about would you feel if developing a live site for a customer, if Wappler should begin with the in the act mode, or should you play it safe and stick with the ask mode until they get the feel for how it works?
Well, it depends on how large is your goal. As I said, you should try starting small or giving the AI a lot of information about your website, what you really want to do, because as more specific you, the better AI will get and won't make that mistake. So try to describe it as much as possible, but still limit it in steps. Like you can see, what I've done here is a very generic question, and it goes out of the blue. But normally you really try on smaller questions, smaller parts, and then you can go on from there. So you can have it directly in act mode if you are starting from blank. But if you don't know yet what you want to do, you can better start in ask and have a conversation of what should be done in the first place, and then switch to act mode and then let it do it. Other ways that are most common, and we might add more support about it in the future, is that you really make first a document about all the features and the pages that you want. And this document can be also created by the AI, but it's like a contract that you first make about a to-do list, what I want to create. So your requirements and of the site that you're creating, you can put them first on a document and say, well, let's first agree what the site should do. And then the AI can use this document with requirements like a to-do list. So he knows those are the requirements, those are the pages that needs to be done, and then he goes from one to the next one and check it when it's done. And then you have also much more control because it will be part per part executed, and then you can control it. And only with your agreement, well, now it's okay, then he can move on to the next step. So it's much more a controllable way to do things. You can already do that, but start maybe first with creating a requirements document. And that requirements document can be a simple text markdown file that you can also edit in Wappler. But then you have a whole document of all the requirements, and it's also easier for the AI to keep track on what's going on, because otherwise you made up most of the requirements and you come up later that not all of them were nice, or you didn't want them, or maybe it was too much, or he's maybe missing some other things. So it's good to have a document with requirements initially to know what should be done, and then go from this document and let him task per task complete the assignments till it's all completed. So that's you can do in act mode, but then you're much more limited per tasks, and you can see all the different tasks. Currently now I have just one task, but if you're going and give him a very concrete tasks, very specific tasks about what should be done, and then go from one to the next one, then it's much more controllable, and you can go and execute it in act mode and go on till the task is completed, and then move to the next tasks.
Sounds good, George. You're absolutely correct. That's the preparing a document up front is a great idea. We've got a couple questions here in the chat. If I could, if anybody
can I jump in before we get to the chat questions?
Sure, go ahead, Bob.
Mark, I just when you create that document to tell it kind of what to do you just cut and paste that into the AI, or do you actually create a page on the site that has that?
Yeah, you can create a page on the site indeed, and just reference it by name in the AI chat, and it can access the content of all your files, so it can read on itself.
Okay.
Well, if you're going one in there as well, sorry. Remember as well, when you're producing these user requirements, which is it's actually the way I work with all customers. It actually forms the basis of your proposal to your customer as well at the same time. So it adds that clarity. You're adding the clarity for AI, but you also have a very detailed document that you can work with your customer, so the customer has the exact expectations as well as the AI.
Yeah. So you probably already have such a document. So it will be good to just give it to the AI and tell it, well, here are my requirements, go through them and make a plan how to execute it. So this is actually the new feature that we'll be working on, is to also introduce a plan mode. So it will be even easier to go and plan things and agree on the document of requirements before starting the actual work, and that will give you much more strict power on the AI, while the AI can also keep track of its own thing, because like I said, the AI models have pretty limited context size, and they tend to forget things. So the more AI is busy with a large task, the more it will forget eventually what he was started to do initially, because the task was so large that his memory couldn't hold it. So it will go on and forget about the initial work. And that is what such a document will help as well, because it will have like a task that's already done, what needs to be done more, what's checked, what's not checked. So by starting a new task, but still referring to this document, will give the AI an up-to-date status of what has it done already and what needs to be done more. So more planning is, it's really the way to go for more advanced large tasks. And it's really advisable on doing on a large task. So, and next, just as the planning, you can also define like things like a style guide, for example, because if you're running AI separately on each page and you don't specify anything about styling, it will go on and produce different styling on every page it creates. So it's also very handy to, just like you have requirements for your site, to write down also a style guide about your site, how your forms should look like, how the headers, what the colors that you use, so that you can give this style guide to the AI as well and let him produce things that comply to your style guide and not generate a different form every time with a completely different styling, because you want to keep your pages in the same style as well. So just like a document with all the requirements, it will be also very handy to have a document with all the styling that should be used within the site. And again, you can let him create that initially, and then you can edit this document as well and put in your own things, or just have them say, well, I don't like these colors or such and such things. And eventually you agree, and that will become the document, the styling document, just as the requirements document, to be executed for your site. And he will make use of it, and when generating new designs, he will keep that in mind. But again, it shouldn't be really long, because again, the memory, it's the context size of the AI is limited, and we already add some instructions, and the HTML of the page you're working on can be also large. So it will hit a limit eventually, and it will forget the half of the things that you have given him. But there is a good thing on the horizon. The AIs are getting smarter, but also their memory size is getting larger. The Google Gemini one, it's already with a very large context. Unfortunately, you have to use the Gemini directly as provider to benefit from a large context, because Copilot, as the most cheap model, actually a little bit limits the context size on its own. So it didn't give you the full context that is already available. So, but we have to find a middle way. And but it's getting better and better. So the contexts are getting larger, the AIs are getting faster. So you should see better and better results. And those developments of the AI models are getting improved on a weekly basis, and more AI data centers are coming along all over the place. So getting built and expanded, and because the AIs are used so much, they get more powerful, and you'll see also faster responses, which is pretty good. And the responses are getting better and better.
So well, we're approaching the top of the hour here. I have a couple questions in the chat. One is, does the AI features in Wappler work with PHP or only Node.js?
Well, currently, let me see. We also support PHP indeed. We actually supply the AI completely instructions about the current projects that you are open. So if you have a Node.js project, it will tell the AI exactly how your project is specified, which folders should it use, because Node.js has a specific structure, like a public folder with all the files, the views with the pages. And when it's Node project, we supply those instructions. So the AI knows also, because it's actually generating code pretty much directly, it has to know where the pages are, where the server connects are. And if it's a PHP project, well, we supply them different instructions about how it's PHP, how the server connect PHP files looks like, because they have a little bit different structure, but still the inner working is pretty much the same. But yeah, we support both and Node.js and PHP. I don't think we have added ASP.NET yet, but at least PHP should be well supported as well.
Very well.
And I see also another question: if you're not using Wappler Database Manager, well, first you should use it. Database Manager is very, very good, so you should use it. And I know some people, yeah, really like other tools, but the power of Database Manager is that you can just every changes that you made is well saved, and you can replicate it on any remote database. So everything is well saved per versions, and you can deploy to your remote device. So, and yeah, we use Knex for that, and that's how yeah, the AI manager knows that we use that, so he can manipulate the same database. So if you don't use the database manager, yeah, it currently generates Knex database migration. So yeah, those won't be executed on your database server, so it won't work. So yeah, as I said, you should use it, and then you can profit with the AI manager, database manager as well. And as I said, AI was, yeah, is sometimes even smarter than our own database manager. It creates more stuff that we support, but we'll try to keep up and add support in the database manager for those things as well. So yeah.
The AI question, is it safe to assume that AI's forgetfulness is available memory?
Well, forgiveness, yeah, that makes mistakes, you mean?
Forgetfulness. Is this, I'm sorry, is it safe to assume that AI's forgetfulness is due to available memory?
You had kind of broached that it was memory specific on whether or not it remembered the tasks that you asked it to complete. And so I was just trying to clarify that in my mind.
Yeah, yeah. Well, currently, it's we try to give them the whole history, but as your conversation gets larger and larger, it will eventually hit a limit. And well, we're looking at some improvements in that area to not be limited by that. So when we hit the limit, we'll be trying to, for example, summarize previous conversations. So he knows what he has done, but doesn't have to keep the full record of it, because if currently it keeps the full record, and if you have like a very long conversation with a lot of actions, it will, yeah, get a full context size, and he might indeed start forgetting a lot of things. And we're looking in ways to improve that, as you see by other AI implementations, to have them summarize old conversation or the start of your conversation, so he knows it, but yeah, doesn't have to keep the full record of it. But yes, currently it might forget indeed things because it's getting too big to remember.
Yeah,
but that's
evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, but that will get better as the AIs evolve and they are getting a larger context size. So as I said, the current limit was, I think, maybe 200K of memory, but Google ones already have with Gemini already have like 1 megabyte of tokens. So and this is a lot to have, and also we have optimized the stuff. So what you see is conversation here, but we really adds much more knowledge to the AI. We let them know what App Connect is, what Server Connect is, but we can't just give him all the knowledge about it, because then you run directly out of memory or context size. So this is what we have divided in a different AI manager and AI assistant. So the AI manager, for example, he knows general things about your projects. He knows your project structure, and he knows generally what the server connection action is, but he doesn't know exactly what possibilities, all the possible actions in a server connection actions. He knows what it is. He knows what HTML is, because there's a general knowledge and Bootstrap. But about App Connect, he knows general things. But once he delegates an assignment to the page editor, we know, depending on what editor that is, what knowledge he needs more. So we supply that knowledge on demand. For example, when you're working with a database here, or the migrations, he only needs to know that we're using connects and the database structure, and what should he produce. So here he doesn't really need to know anything about App Connect or Server Connect. We just are talking about database stuff here. So we give them only that knowledge to limit and optimize the use of the context size. And when we are working on web pages, then we give them all the App Connect knowledge. So all the available components, how a data store works, what is a Server Connect component, and how it should interact with it, with its properties, and when to use it. And when he's working about with the Server Connect itself, we give him actually the knowledge about the Server Connect and all the different actions available. So we try to separate the portions of knowledge very strictly depending on the task executing. That's why we don't overload the manager with unnecessary knowledge, but give him very strict things that he should know, and try to delegate the things to the AI assistant on the pages that know more about the stuff, and they execute the task given with their own knowledge and report back to the AI manager about it's done. So the AI manager can check it off and on, and then continue with its work. So this is how we currently try to optimize the limited context size, and that's a very good solution currently. But from time to time it can hit also on errors, because it's like with your co-workers, when the boss delegates things, he has something in his mind, and the workers executed, but not exactly according specifications, or didn't comply anything, and errors in communication can occur. And here is exactly the same thing, because the manager just gives a simple assignment, described as good as possible, but it might be a little bit off. The assistant tries to comply, but sometimes error can occur again, because of miscommunication. And we are trying to improve that.
Great response. Like, even I understood that. Very valuable hour. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This is a very valuable hour.
It has been indeed. And just a general question as we approach the end of our meetup here. Did you and the rest of the valiant Wappler team enjoy incorporating AI into Wappler? Was it an enjoyable experience for you?
Well, it was a challenge definitely because the AIs are trained on a lot of different data sets, and they don't really know the Wappler stuff very well. It's getting better and better, but and the AIs are really like a baby, so to speak, who are learning to take their first steps on this world. You have to learn them a lot, and they will make mistakes initially, but yeah, as they will be getting better and better. So it's a challenge because it's evolving so fast, and the minute that we integrated some feature, next day the AIs come with a new model, and suddenly half of the work was broken because the new model reacts differently or didn't want to follow our instructions. So it's been challenging, but I think we already covered most of it, and but still I think there is a lot of room of improvements, and as I said, the AI will make mistake, and it's up to you to be on top of it and correct it. So don't think like that the AI is some wonder thing that will magically create the websites for you. If you don't know what you're doing, then you'll be very quickly out of luck, and you create a lot of rubbish for you, and you'll be really losing your time. So try to make good use of it by really specifically telling what to do and controlling well its work. Then you have a profit of it. It's just an assistant that you need to give specific instructions, and then he can do his work, but really have to control what is done. Yeah. So.
But you've spent a lot of time and energy with incorporating AI, and I know you're going to continue to keep updating that. Is there any other upcoming features or next steps for Wappler that you have planned that you can share with us?
Well, we are working on a lot of things. More because of the AI integration, we run behind of updating some of components that we have integrated, and also new ones. So we'll be catching up on that, adding some more pages. But extensibility it's of Wappler. It's also getting very well. We see more and more people making Wappler extensions and sharing them on NPM so that others can take use of them. So we are improving the extensibility so you can plug in on more places so that the extensions can be even more easier installed and managed. More Wappler components on that area. And eventually we'll also because App Connect components are really powerful web components, and we want to go into the direction where you can actually make App Connect components just as easy as making a web page. So those components can be saved and reused on multiple pages eventually. So just what was the promise of the web components, we want to do that with App Connect components as well. So just as you're creating content pages in your Wappler project, we want to make it just as easy to create App Connect components and reuse those very easily. So this is one of our goals eventually. We want to also work more dynamically with data state, because as you already known for yourself, if you have a pretty complex web page with a lot of conditional things and stuff on it, half of it you won't it won't be even visible in design view, and sometimes you really have to switch off all the dynamic things to work on all the pages, and And this is something we want to address by introducing design time data, for example. So you can have a predefined sets of data that you can apply on components on your page. So you can toggle, because App Connect pages are very much data driven. So what you see depends on specific state of your data. And usually the data is stored in database, you retrieve it, and if the user is logged in, for example, you see something, data is populated. So it's very dynamic stuff. And when you're designing it, yeah, you really can't see everything, because maybe some of the regions are hidden due to yeah, not logged in, or data missing, or stuff like this. So we really want to focus on that area, and allows you to create a specific design time data sets that you can easily switch between. So you can really see, depending on the specific data, then you can see that rendered on your page, and then work with it to design more. So for example, you set like a data with when the user is logged in, and then you can switch it, and then you see like, oh, suddenly I'm logged in, and then I can see that. Or you have a table with records, but sometimes it does have records, other time it doesn't have records. So you want to switch, oh, now I want to see with records, now I want to see without records. So you can fine tune, yeah, all the different views of the data that you have. So this is a direction that we also want to go through to, yeah, deliver some more design time data that you can easily switch to. So yeah, that's a lot of different directions. And of course, we have a full list of feature requests that we are weekly trying to get back to, and all the feedback that we receive from the community really determines how we handle those feature requests, and how fast we integrate them. So yeah, we're listening very carefully to the community, and try to act accordingly, and yeah, deliver you in a weekly update, yeah, the newest things that you ask for. So of course we have some directions of our own, but also the feature requests. So it's kind of dynamic evolvement that we have always been doing with Wappler. But yeah, that's how we grow, and yeah, to
Awesome.
hopefully to satisfaction of everybody. So
we're about a quarter past the hour, running a little bit long. I want to take a moment and thank George, Theodore, and Patrick for joining us today, and investing the time. This has been not only enjoyable but educational, and your future roadmap is filled with all kinds of presents. Every Thursday's Christmas in Wappler land. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I want to say that we have our Wappler meetups on the second Friday of every month at 4 o'clock Netherlands time. You can keep track of these in the announcement section of the forum. My forum name is Mark1. If you have any questions, or you'd like to be involved with a future wrap-up or meetup, please let me know. And until then, I wish you all a very safe and prosperous day, and we look forward to meeting again next month. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark, George.
thank you all too.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.